Hello, Big Team. Hello, friends. Welcome to Lizziefaye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth. Hopefully by now you have seen the first two parts of my most recent book haul. I should say hauls, plural, because I've been book shopping at various library sales and used bookstores and things like that over the last couple of months. And in the past, when I have big hauls like this, I like to divide it up into genres so that you can pick and choose what you are the most interested in. And it just kind of makes sense. It's a good way to divide it up and not make one huge video. So I've already done cozy mysteries and middle grade mostly. There was a couple of children's books and YA mixed in with that. But now today I want to show you the romances that I have purchased recently. I've got about 20 to show you, and a few of them are vintage or retro, which is appropriate because right now this week as I'm filming this, the Retro Romance Readathon is going on. The summer edition, this year's theme is Christmas in July, and that is hosted and created by Storm from Storm Reads and co-hosted by Sarah, the bookish knitter. And so the theme right now, it also coincides with Storm's birthday, which was on Slurpee Day, so happy birthday, Storm. And like I said, they just want you to read some retro romances that are 20 years old or older. And if you can find some Christmas ones, then that's even better. That fits with the Christmas in July theme. And I have a couple that I have purchased that I will either read or listen to during the readathon. Whether I get them done this week or not, I'm not sure. It is a 1-week readathon, but they said, you know, if you want to just stretch it out over the whole month, I think that's what they're doing. So it's all good. Anyway, let me just get started because I have book club in a little while. My mystery book club meets today. It's the one that I lead, but I think I've got just enough time to film this and then get to book club and then come back and work on editing it later tonight. So let me start with the faith-based ones. I have two. I have not ever read Robin Lee Hatcher, but this was such a pretty book. I think I got it at a fill-a-bag sale, and I just didn't want to put it down. This is published by Zondervan. It's called Promised to Me. I should have looked to see if it was part of a series, and I didn't. So if I find later that it is, I will put the name of the series here and also what book it is. And then I also got one Beverly Lewis book called The Road Home. I think I picked this up at my local library on the regular sale shelves that are open whenever the library is open. And for those books, those are 50 cents per paperback, whether it's a larger trade paperback or a mass market paperback. So 50 cents is a great deal. This is a standalone by Beverly Lewis. I have only read a couple of her standalones. I've been reading mostly her series books, but I definitely do want to read all of her books. And then this is an author who is now writing faith-based books, but when her writing career started, she wrote just regular straight-up romances, not faith-based, and I found a couple of those. I got home and realized that I did have them. I kind of thought maybe I did. So these two will probably go in my eBay store. They are part of, I think, a trilogy, maybe a 4-book series. This is Lord Copeland. I haven't yet read any of her pre-Christian romances, but I am really curious to read some, and this is two of them. Promise Me Tomorrow and Promise Me Today. I think these have step backs. So yes, here we go. And then Promise Me Today is this one. Really pretty. And the front is kind of a lacy edge. That's neat. I like that. Excuse the dogs. The dogs started barking because FedEx was here. And so I'm glad that they got here before I had to leave for book club because we ordered a new pool vacuum, which was a giant box. And I would not wanted that to sit out on our porch all while I was gone. Okay, so another retro romance that I picked up is by Jodi Thomas. Now, I have not read a Jodi Thomas book recently, and I've been collecting her books, old and new, and this is book 2 in the McQuillan duology. I own book 1 already. I have not read the first one yet, and this is called Two Texas Hearts, so I'm excited to have that. And then I got a newer one by Jodi Thomas, Dinner on Primrose Hill. I can't remember where I picked this up, maybe at my local library. I have not read one of her newer ones since maybe the Tea Shop one. and before that, Mornings on Main, which I really loved. And she's written several since then, so I need to get back to it. I need to read some of her old ones and some of her new ones. And then here's another one that I guess was either co-written or has 3 stories. I'm not sure. It looks like a collaboration between Jodie Thomas, Lori Wilde, and Patience Griffin. Now, Patience Griffin has written some books in a Scottish series, and I've read the first one of those and enjoyed it. Anyway, this is The Wishing Quilt. This, of course, caught my eye because it has to do with a quilt, and I always like to send quilt books to my sister, but since it's Jodie Thomas, I will definitely want to read this one first, but it's really pretty. I did get this one at the bookstore where I work. I saw it on the cart as it came in, and I said, I need that. Then I do have another Lori Wilde book. Since that one had Lori Wilde, I may as well segue into this one. I need to finish taking the sticker off, but this is another one of the Twilight Texas novels, Second Chance Christmas. I have been reading and I've been listening to this series and reading a few of them, and it's a little steamier than my comfort zone, but the covers are so cute. I started collecting them, and I figure I may as well finish the series. She does really tell a good story. She just mixes in a lot of the other stuff that, to me is not necessary, but, it is what it is. And I'm going to go ahead and finish the series before I move them off of my shelves and add them to my eBay store or whatever. Anyway, I picked this one up. And then the last hardcover that I have is by Sandra Dallas. It's called The Bride's House. Now, I've read a few books by Sandra Dallas, and she's really hit or miss. I have really enjoyed about half of what I've read, and I have really not enjoyed the other half. I never know where I'm going to land, but this one looked really pretty, and I decided to go ahead and pick it up. All right, then I've got a couple of Debbie Macomber books. In fact, this is probably what I am planning to listen to for the Christmas in July portion of the Retro Romance Readathon this week. This is a bind up of 2 of the Angels books. It's called Angels Everywhere, but what's in it is A Season of Angels and Touched by Angels. And it also just so happens that I found this where I work. I was showing this the other day on a live stream. This is a 3-book box set of the first 3 in the Angels Intervention series or Angelic Intervention series. Season of Angels, Trouble with Angels, and Touched by Angels. So, this is the first 3. This is the first 2. And definitely want to get to these, for sure, at least the first one this week. And maybe go ahead and listen to all 3 of them this month. And the other book by Debbie Macomber that I picked up is actually another one of those collaborations or a book of short stories. The authors are Debbie Macomber, Susan Wiggs, and Jill Barnett. It's called That Summer Place. I'm pretty sure I've seen this on audio on Hoopla, so I would probably listen to that on audio if it's still there. And then I picked up another book by Emily March. Now I have collected all of the Eternity Springs books. In fact, I was caught up and I had them all. I still have not read a single one. They're kind of sporadically on audio, and the numbers that are available are they kind of skip around. It's hit and miss. So I just have not ever started the series. And of course, she continues to write more. So I'm not caught up anymore. I don't have the most recent ones, but this is definitely one that I didn't have. It's a spinoff of Eternity Springs, The McBrides of Texas, and this one is called Boone. So I picked that up. And then the rest of these books are canine romances. Most are love-inspired. This one is not. This is just part of the Harlequin line. I don't even know if it is Harlequin suspense, but it does have something to do with canine search and rescue. It's called Texas Guardian by Laura Lakem. I'm not sure. And then most of them are love-inspired suspense, except this one is just plain love-inspired. This is from the Canine Companion series, An Alaskan Christmas Promise by Belle Calhoun. And then the rest of these are from the various canine series that I've been collecting. I was able to finish off 2 series, and by that I mean I finished collecting the last books I didn't have from 2 different series, and I found the first 2 books in the 2023 series, which I debated about whether to get or not, and I thought they were $2 each. I'll just go ahead and get them. But anyway, yeah, the two newest ones are books 1 and 2 of the Pacific Northwest Canine Unit series. So that's the 2023 series. These are not all out yet. Book number 1 is Shielding the Baby by Laura Scott. And then book number 2 is Scent of Truth by Valerie Hansen. And then I was excited to find the last one of the Canine Search and Rescue series that I did not have. It's Alaskan Mountain Search by Sarah Varland. Now, this is not the last book in the series. It's just the last one I didn't have. Now, I think this series started being written in 2021, and it has continued on into 2023, because this one is dated 2023, and there's at least one more after that. I'm not sure if the series is complete yet or not, but for whatever reason, this particular series stretched out over a few years. Most of the canine series that I have collected are all contained within 1 year. As far as I can tell, the first one was in 2013, and it was the Texas Canine Unit series. And I'm happy to say that I have finally found the last two that I did not have. And I found them at used bookstores. A lot of times used bookstores don't keep category romances that are this old. In fact, I'm surprised they had this one at all, because it's pretty banged up, but I definitely wanted to get it. This is book number 2 in the series, so I wouldn't have been able to get very far in the series without it, and I definitely wanted to pick it up. Then I also found the very last book in the series. Oh, and this one is called Detection Mission. It's by Margaret Daly. And this is the very last book in the series. A lot of times these series will end with a Christmas book. Sometimes it's 2 stories with a Christmas theme, even after the main overarching mystery has been solved. And they're 2 shorter novellas that also have characters from the larger part of the series. But anyway, this is Texas Canine Unit Christmas by Shirley McCoy and Terry Reed. So I was super excited to find those. So that is all the romance books that I have picked up in the last couple of months. Have you read any of these? Do any of them sound like something you would want to read? And if so, you are welcome to buddy read with me if it's a book that I think I might get to in any reasonable amount of time. I tend to buy books for my retirement. Well, now I'm retired, so I guess that means I'm supposed to read them. I don't know when I'm going to get to all of these. Thankfully, audio exists, and I can get through quite a few books that way, but I'm just enjoying the treasure hunt of finding books for my collection. And I have been weeding some books out of my collection just yesterday after uploading my middle grade book haul. I have weeded out several middle grade series that I have finished collecting, I've finished reading, and there's just no point in me keeping them, because I know that I am most likely not going to try to read those series again, like the series of Unfortunate Events, The Shadow Children by Margaret Peterson Haddix, and Spiderwick Chronicles, series like that are just taking up a lot of space on my shelves. So I'm going to be listing those in my eBay store. If any of you have any interest in that, my eBay store is always listed in the description below. And but again, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just saying I'm happy with my progress. I'm happy that now my shelves are a little more manageable. And now that I'm uploading this video, I need to go through and do the same thing with my romance books. So that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.